there was all that movement many years ago with The Secret and it's all in your manifesting, and it really seemed to bypass anything about trauma. Trauma is, like, people have trauma, they can't just be positive and heal. It doesn't work like that.
The Secret is, I would say it's a powerful book, regardless of, the
It's
backlash,
good.
regardless of, how people are misinterpreting some of the teachings. And I've personally given it as a gift to somebody who's going through a lot of health issues, because I can see that their fate is sometimes kind of dying. And I think through that process, their health is worsening. And so I believe that the power of positivity is also connected to the fate, that there is a force that is stronger than us, that there is a light stronger than us, and it's equipping us in the moments when we get tired, in the moments when we get discouraged or defeated. And so I believe in the power of positive thinking, but my understanding of it has shifted drastically after I went on my personal healing journey and the spiritual awakening, and I had to pick myself up on my own. Never on my own, because I had all these spiritual beings that
Oh
were
yeah,
supporting me,
yeah,
giving
me
me guidance, but physically I was alone. And I understand the value of it. And I understand my strength because I had to experience it that way. But I also understand that when you're going through your healing, it's not necessarily designed for two, it's designed for you. And so you have to sit with your own pain for a couple of days, weeks, months, and then go through it and befriend yourself. And so I think people sometimes they want to bypass that healing process by speaking to friends all the time or hiring specialists to, almost give them the cheat codes. And it's like, there are no cheat codes. It's
no,
you and you. You have to sit
yeah,
with yourself. You have to sit with previous versions of yourself, alternative versions of yourself, future versions of yourself. There is, your journey is happening at the speed at which you've kind of asked for it to be. You can speed it up, but that's going to overwhelm your nervous system. So you're not behind in life, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. But if you're ignoring the heavy emotions and applying the positive thinking on top, one day you're going to collapse, which is kind of what happened to me because I kept trying to power through being positive. I can do it, I can do it. And then at some
okay,
point I was like,
yeah,
oh, nobody's checking on me. I need to check on myself. Okay,
yeah.
here we go.
Now, The Secret, yeah, is great, but it's not the only law, and that's where I was, in around when the book came out, and everyone in my circle of spirituality was all talking about it, and it's just one law, the law of attraction. There are so many other laws. People seem to have forgotten at that point that there were any other laws. They only believed in that. Another one was also people were utilizing The Secret to try to attract money and really superficial things and not the vitals. So that's what I meant about The Secret. So it's not actually a bad book. I think it's a good book too, but it's not the end all and be all. It was treated like that at the time. It was all about attraction. People didn't see beyond attraction, the law.
It still is, unfortunately, and I can see
Okay.
it. I can see new platforms being created where they just try to sell you these courses about manifestation. And I've received just one message that I can clearly think about right now. It was the only way for you to truly manifest is to manifest something that allows your inner child to shine through with your creativity, with your gifts, whatever that inner given knowledge or wisdom or give a set of gifts that you have that you're here to unlock and activate, and also something that supports you in being a light worker, a positive change maker, a positive leader to benefit humanity. That's the only way that you're manifesting. Everything else is manipulation,
Mm.
energetic manipulation, and it's not manifestation. So even the way that people have hijacked the word manifest, because I think it's also in biblical text, the word manifest, but they've taken it out of context. They've added the 3D identification, and now you see all of these people having on their vision board the cars and the
Oh, they always had
mindsets.
that. The vision board's full of physical material things and nothing else.
Exactly. The vision board in itself is a
It's great.
beautiful thing,
Yeah,
but you should have something like more magical, more creative, more aspiring,
that's it. Yeah,
I think in my vision board, I have like spiritual images. I have this
yeah, that's
impact that you cannot
same.
really
I did
put.
it years ago, but yeah, same.
Humans have so much to learn. And those that are, brave enough to complete their ascension journey, I think we're seeing more and more people that are not willing to give up the rights to their calling, the rights to their soul, in a way, the rights to their free will, in order for them to be elevated. Because I think this is what we've seen in society. We've seen a lot of spiritual teachers that suddenly became really popular, really famous. Their books were everywhere, their courses were everywhere, but they sold their freedom.
They
And
sold
I
their
can see
soul.
how they're being pushed into our faces, but they're not actually teaching us how to ascend, how to awaken. They're not actually teaching us about the universal laws, how to activate our gifts, what's out there. They're just spending time with celebrities and pretending that
Mm,
they're part of the conversation that directs schools and government and so on and so on. And in the worst cases, we're also seeing a lot of dark energy and dark magician wizards. I don't know what the
right,
right word is in
yeah.
this case.
With the woke
But
movement and all that.
not necessarily. It's quite literally people that do rituals that are not necessarily positive in their nature, but rather sacrificial in their nature. And these people with really dark energy are being invited into the conversation around how to shape the future of humanity when it comes to even childhood, even like the
Mm,
education system, which is insane. I mean,
mm,
I think everyone has discernment. I think some people are scared of their discernment. And so they pretend not to see things because they're so used to being gaslit. And so when they see a truth teller, that usually triggers them. That usually sets off their fire. They're in a fire and they're like, oh, no, no, that person is the bad one. And then they realize, oh, they were actually telling the truth. They were trying to help me. They were trying to guide me.